The latest update to Divi brings a really well-implemented tooltip feature. I have this button here on the page. As I hover over it, it's a delay, and I put that delay in there. Of course, it can be instant. My tooltip disappears there, and of course, it will also go away. But how Divi did this tooltip, I need to give them loads and loads of credit for, because I think it's really smartly done. Yes, it can be done on any module because of the nested feature that we see in Divi 5. Let's quickly do this. Jump into Divi 5, and there is my tooltip, but let's bring in a new button. I will select this button, click on the plus, and search for a button. We can do anything. Let's go ahead and make this one an image instead, just to be a little bit different. I'll grab an image over here, grab this guy, and this is a good place that we may want to put a tooltip so that when people hover over his handsome face and we want to know who this guy is, the name will pop up. Now, how this works is with the module selected, you go to the options setting on the right, and then under content, we go to elements. Under elements, you click on the plus. It's really important you do it this way. Otherwise, you may place it somewhere within a container as a standalone module, and that will confuse you unless you want to put it within a container. But in most cases, you're going to link it to a specific module. In this case, it's the image. So we put it to the image. Search for tooltip, and there you go. That's the tooltip. Select, and it pops onto the page, and you can see the tooltip is already there. It is now next to the image. I'll just grab the image and put on design. We go to sizing and full force width. Okay, a little bit pixelation going on there. Actually, quite a lot, but we just want to look at the tooltip. Let me add some padding there at the top as well, so we have a little bit of space between that button and this one. No, not padding. Let's add a margin there of 150 pixels. Good. Now we have something to work with. To work with the tooltip is like any other module. Click on it and the settings will appear. There is the content with the text, and we can say something here. New handsome golden boy, freshly hired, and the boss still likes him. Then we hop on over to design, and there's loads here. I really appreciate. This is one of those times that Divi really impressed me. They sat down and they thought, we want to give them a tooltip. It's going to be nested in elements. How can we give them the ultimate tooltip? How about we do everything that people expect us to do? And that is under the tooltip. You have show tooltip on hover and then click and always. When it's always, it's nice if you just want to have that bubble there. Some people may argue one always, but click is a very good one if you want people to click on it, and it gives that little bit of information, and then hover. Let's leave it on hover for now. Then you have tooltip movement. I put it on follow cursor. Currently it's on anchor, but I want to show you the follow cursor is a weird one. I wouldn't recommend that. We jump to the front, and then as we hover over it, you will see it is there. Okay, now it works, but you can see it is a little bit strange. It doesn't always work. So I think doing it follow cursor is also totally unnecessary. So we go to anchor. But here is the cool part, and that is the positioning. It's going to give you placement outside of the box, which is your target module. In this case, the image. Currently, it's in the top center, bottom center. This is so convenient because these are the locations you are most likely to use it on. You can also put it inside, also a very nice feature. And then you have tooltip skid. I had to go look up what the word skid means. Maybe it is some technical web development word. It just means, it's a little bit drifting to the left or the right. To the left, it doesn't work. Maybe that's a glitch. I'm not sure. But to the right, once you start going into the positives, you can see you can move it to the right. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go to the left, but it's not doing that at the moment. I didn't find it necessary to activate this one at all. If you really want to fine-tune it, that's where you go. The tooltip distance is between your module. Look at that. Up and down, woohoo! And then you have tooltip open delay. That's the one I showed you at the beginning, where there's a little bit of a delay, and tooltip close delay. I'm not entirely sure when I would use that. Maybe you want a smooth little transition, then you can add a slight little delay, and it's in milliseconds. So if you put it on 500 milliseconds, it is half a second. And then show tooltip arrow, which I think is pretty cool. Then you have that little arrow there at the bottom, and you have full control. You see here you have the tooltip arrow color, and you even have positioning for the tooltip arrow placement. I can grab this position over here and I'll drag it. And the size, where is the size? Let's make the size bigger first so you can really see that big one there. And then as I drag the position, can't stress this enough. How many times have I worked with tooltip features? And my final conclusion is, no, this is so standard. It looks like HTML from the 90s. Not going to do it. But this is awesome. Let's also talk about other things here. Not only this, and that is how we go ahead and style it out. Jump back to content. We go to background because for some reason, Divi believes background is content and not design. Let's add a gradient to this one. This is the gradient I used earlier. And then, of course, you'll have to think about your little arrow, what you're going to do with that. And then the solid color as well. If you prefer a solid color, let's remove the gradient then once we do the solid color. Nice update to the arrow as well. Same design features. We can go to spacing, add some padding. I want to add around 15 padding at the top and at the bottom. And then I'll add around 25 padding on the left and right. Nice. And just remember, if you look under content and you go to text, it's a rich text element. This allows you to even put in bullets if that is what you have to do. Let's go ahead and give this one a bullet. You can add a lot of information here. What I like about this kind of implementation of the tooltip, often like team members, I will put the team members there, and then when people click or press on it, this will pop up. It's a kind of a pop-up, right? And this is a well-thought pop-up right there on the page, not intrusive and uses very little data. Absolutely stunning implementation. This one gets a 10 out of 10 from me because it's done properly from the beginning. Maybe that one little glitch about the skid or the slide to the left. I think that's the only one I could figure out. I've tested it quite comprehensively. This one gets a definite thumbs up from me. And that brings us to the end. From me, JP. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.